everybody, David Grum, your EHS Director for B&B Maintenance, here today on the February 26, 2026 Safety Closet Talk to bring you guys a very special edition. I'm very excited about this. Very special edition of this week's Safety Closet Talk. We haven't had one in a while. We have a question and answer segment with a supervisor. Tammy Norman stepped up and she said, David, Camille, let's make this happen. And I was so happy to have the opportunity to sit down with her and go through some questions and go through safety and be able to share that with everybody here in the organization. So without further ado, let's get started on this week's Safety Closet Talk. Welcome, Tammy. Thank you very much for being a guest speaker on this week's Safety Closet Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Let's first start with some introductions.
I am the supervisor for the west side of Michigan. I handled from up to Ludington area down to the South Haven, and part of the, I wouldn't say Grand Rapids area, but Byron Center area over there.
Very cool. How long have you been with the company?
I've been here for about 4 years now, four and a half years.
Well, thank you for your service and thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the organization.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to get to know Tammy here. First question. What is your biggest safety lesson that you have learned in your career?
Okay. So the biggest safety lesson that I've learned in this career is, and it actually happened to me personally. I got locked out of a bank. Of course, it was after hours. I was panicking, wasn't sure what to do. I did call my supervisor, and he was really nice to me and told me, just to stay calm and, guide me to what to do. And so I would say that after all that, I realized how crucial it was to keep your keys with you all times.
So fun fact, that happened to me as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's happened to everybody at least once. Who was your supervisor at the time? Who saved
Greg.
you?
Greg King.
Greg King saved you. So shout out to Greg King. Jose Garcia saved me out on the East Coast. So it's happened very often, unfortunately. But I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that you're able to handle the situation.
Yes.
All right. So question number 2: how can frontline employees impact a safety culture?
So frontline employees can influence a safety culture by participating in safety training, and that employee involvement is crucial.
Very nice. I love that answer. That is a great answer. I think you hit the nail on the head with trainings too, right? I mean, the more education, the more content that they get is only going to help them.
Yep.
All right. Question number 3. What are the most common overlooked hazards in facility or janitorial work?
I would say the most overlooked hazards in our workplace are things like, wet floors, and repetitive straining, like, vacuuming and mopping. Those are, kind of repetitive. But so be mindful of those, small risks that can prevent, bigger accidents.
So Tammy, why do you think employees sometimes are hesitant on reporting near misses?
So I think the reason that employees hesitate to report near misses is because the fear of blame. But when we share them, we catch issues early and it keeps everyone safe. So it's vital, that we encourage speaking up.
I like it. We always learn from our mistakes, right?
Exactly.
Like maybe locking yourself outside of the facility with the keys, right? I mean, we learn from that mistake. We call those tuition payments. We had to pay to learn, right?
Yeah.
All right. How do stress and distractions affect workplace safety?
So I think that stress and distractions make us less focused. We miss hazards. By staying calm and reducing distractions, we keep ourselves safer.
I like that. Side question, what is one of the most common distractions that you've seen on a job site?
Somebody on their phone.
Those dang phones.
Yep. Gotta keep them in your pockets.
Absolutely. Keep them in your pockets. Don't be walking and texting, talking and texting, whatever it is. It's definitely a distraction.
Yeah.
Especially on the road too, right? I mean, I assume that you spend a lot of time on the road as well.
Yes, I do.
So with that being said, to me, that's one of the most hazardous things that we have to encounter as supervisors across the country is driving, and driving is very, very, very dangerous.
Yes.
And that's without any distractions. When you add in distractions such as mindset or phone usage, right? You just totally expanded the volume for exposure of accidents.
Yep.
All right, next question. All right, professionalism now, Tammy. What does professionalism mean in somebody else's facility?
Okay. So I think professionally means, respecting their space, keeping it clean, following their, security rules, and always staying organized, so we leave a positive impression.
What is one thing companies should be doing today but are not in terms of workplace safety?
So I think most companies aren't doing enough to have ongoing, safety conversations. Frequent check-ins, keep safety top of the mind and not just, a once a year thing.
No, that's a great call on that. Absolutely. And this is a side question. How do we get more involvement from employees doing the safety closet talks? What would be your advice with that?
I think hopefully, them seeing, other supervisors participate in the safety closet talks, see a familiar face that they know.
Yeah, no, that's a great call. And I think that as we do more of this, and again, we haven't done one of these in a very long time, and it's definitely overdue, because I think you hit the nail on the head. Is if employees are able to see and hear from their supervisors, or maybe not their supervisor, but another supervisor that's at their level, just to establish that culture that, we're going through the same things. Either you work out in Maine, down in Florida, Illinois, whatever. It's nice to hear from other individuals who are going through the same hazards or the same situations.
Yeah.
All right, last question. What would you tell somebody just starting out in the industry the best way to protect themselves long term?
So I would tell them to always stay aware of their surroundings, take every safety step seriously, and never rush. Investing in safety now, protects us, years to come.
I love the don't rush, right? And we really try to explain that to everybody. I love the fact that you said that, because when we rush, bad things happen, and that's where have you had a situation where maybe you have a lot going on one night, you got to cover 4 locations, you got to do inspections, you got to drop off supplies. Have you ever felt overwhelmed?
I have.
Yeah.
Several times.
Do you feel like when you're overwhelmed, do you feel like a possibility for an accident just increased substantially?
Yeah.
Totally. Just slips, trips, and falls, right? I mean, ergonomics, everything.
Yeah.
And that's so hard, because when you're overwhelmed and you're stressed and the anxiety is going, it's hard to detach from that situation, and it's hard to look at everything as a whole, because you're so in tune. You're so focused on making sure that task is done, or those tasks are done, and you're going on to the next one, where you're not taking a step back and looking at everything. And that's where you may have a lapse in judgment. You answer the phone, or you answer an email, a text message when you're driving. Then all of a sudden, boom, we got an accident, right?
Yep.
Most of our accidents happen when somebody is overwhelmed, and when somebody is stressed out, they have a lot going on, and you have a very, very, very tough job, and you've handled it incredibly well. And every supervisor across the country, right, has a lot on their agenda. And this is where, if you have the mindset where slow is fast and fast is bad, I mean, I get we want to get stuff done, we have to execute on tasks, but at the same time, at what cost?
Right.
Tammy, you did a wonderful job. I cannot thank you enough for the time, for the preparedness that you took to go through the questions, and the time that you invested into this. It really is going to go a long way. Thank you very much for joining on this week's Safety Closet Talk.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
With that, Tammy has left the video chat, And again, we cannot thank her enough for the time and the education. I really hope that shed a light of supervisors and responsibilities and some of the things that she's seen and some of the things that we all can relate to on a daily job site here at B&B Maintenance. If you're interested in becoming a next guest speaker on this upcoming Safety Closet Talks, please feel free to reach out to myself, Camille. We'll get it scheduled. We'll get it set up. Would love to have on as many people in this organization as possible because I truly think that we could learn from each other. Hope everybody has a great and safe rest of the week. Remember the motto, safety first, safety last, safety always. You guys take care, and we'll catch you in a week.